I'm sure there are people who think that writing a screenplay is hard. Elfie, what I was trying to say, some people think that writing screenplays is hard. It's not. It's actually really easy. In fact, all writing is really easy. Novels, short stories, doesn't matter. Because really the only thing you need to write is just persistence. If you sit down and write every day, eventually you're going to have a novel or a screenplay or whatever. The challenging part is making it any good, which I'm not very good at, obviously. And I'm talking about this because today I'm kind of done with my next screenplay. It's something I've been working on since way back in August. So September, October, November, a little over 3 months, which honestly is about on track for how long it takes me to write a screenplay, about 3 months. The initial writing is like 30 days and then another 60 days of editing. And there's not a good marker for knowing when you're done. It's very different than other types of art forms, I presume. I don't actually know, because the only type of art forms I know are film and writing. But even in film, you're never really done. I think I'm trying to think of who said this. I don't know why I think it was David Sedaris. I don't think it was David Sedaris, but I'm going to stick with David Sedaris. Who was it? Oh, this is going to bother me. I know it was. I don't know why I thought it was David Sedaris. I guess they're both comedians. It's Steve Martin. And I had watched some interviews with him, and he was talking about writing. He says a writing's only done, a joke's only done is when you hit a deadline. That's really when it stops. Which is true when you're working on certain schedules. But the fact is, I could spend the rest of my life writing this, but I would probably go insane. I don't know how people spend years and years dedicated to one project. Even just spending 6 months working on our last project, Summer Haze, at the end, I never wanted to think about it again. Although now I might adjust some audio stuff and some small things. I'm not going to change anything, but maybe just fix some audio and some other small things. It's been years on a project. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like. But now I have this project. It's done. Screenplay, basically. It needs to go through some edits through some other people and some feedback and that sort of thing. But problem is, what do I do with it? Right now it's just sitting on my computer waiting for something to be done. And there are some filmmakers who believe a screenplay was never meant to be read. It's only meant to be filmed. It's basically a template for a film. It's never really supposed to kind of see the light of day as of sorts. Which I don't know if I necessarily agree with. I don't necessarily disagree with it. I do think it is a template. I do think it's a platform for a film to be made, but I think there's a beauty in screenwriting, even though it's sort of a lost art form in the sense that can anyone name a famous screenwriter that's living today? Can anyone name a screenwriter that's written any films over the last 20 years that didn't also direct it? Probably not. That's not to say that there aren't plenty of filmmakers that do that, plenty of screenwriters that do that. It's just a forgotten art form, I guess. Now, the reason I write screenplays is only because I want to make movies, and I can't afford to buy anyone else's screenplay, can't afford to shoot my own, so I have to write it myself. But what do I do with it now? I don't know. In the past, I would submit to screenplay festivals, but getting kind of tired of spending money just for people to say no. I could just do that for free. Now, I could do what I did with Sir Haze and try to shoot it, but the problem with this project, unlike my last project, was specifically written to be shot. This project is a lot more expensive. It's a lot more locations. It's a lot more actors. The entire project of Sir Haze was written so it could be filmed for $10,000. And it was. We did it. It was successful in that way. But this, I don't think it can be done for $10,000. Just to get the crew out here alone and pay wages and places for people to live while we do the shoot. Just the basic necessities. And so if we can't shoot it for that kind of budget, we either need to somehow get a larger budget, which I don't know how to do. I guess we could try to pre-sell it to somebody. But again, I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at pitching things. And the original idea was to use the funding from Sir Haze to invest in future projects, but we haven't sold Sir Haze yet. And what if it's a year, multiple years before we sell it? What do we do then? I don't know. I feel like most YouTube videos are like full of answers, or at least opinions. I don't really have any of those because I don't watch the news, do things. I read a lot. I watch movies. I don't know. I don't know what to do. My mom sent me like 1,000 text messages and called me and spent like an hour telling me all the things I could do, which, thank you, Mom, for caring so much. There's no one in the world that cares about me as much as you do. But I still don't know. And sure, part of me was a little bummed out about that. It's scary not knowing. But as a Taoist, I accept that not knowing is kind of part of the deal. That's just how life goes. So I'm just going to continue to not know and hope for the best, I guess. Until tomorrow.